My name is Suno, I'm numero uno, with glamour and class for the nose on the glass. And I make music for you to enjoy, but I'm just a tool for songs you to deploy.
So, you know when you stare at a flat, gray text message bubble and it just says, okay.
Oh, yeah. The absolute word.
Right. Like you immediately start spiraling. Is the person mad at you? Are they just incredibly busy? Or are they, sort of passive-aggressively ending the conversation?
You have no idea. There's zero tone.
Exactly. And, I mean, we invented emojis to solve that specific text-based anxiety. But what happens when you feed that tiny pixelated yellow face into a supercomputer and it sings your anxiety back to you in this perfect 4-chord pop song?
It's wild to think about.
It really is. So welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are doing a custom exploration tailored specifically for the learner. If you've ever, hesitated before sending a risky text or just wondered how on earth a machine can generate a song that actually makes you cry, this one is for you.
Yeah, and we are looking at this really fascinating stack of sources today. They're penned by Ovidiu Dimitrian, who goes by Ovi. He's a researcher specializing in AI sound engineering, specifically the end-to-end solutions that kind of bridge the gap from complex code to what he calls the final 10 feet of your living room experience.
Okay, the final 10 feet. I like that.
Yeah, it's a great phrase. And he's also a music creator utilizing the generative AI platform SUNO.
Yeah.
And what's cool is his work here isn't, it's not a technical manual. It's actually this collection of lyrics, poetic essays, and concepts exploring the collision of human emotion and artificial intelligence.
Which is, frankly, a huge topic.
Yeah.
And as I look at your backdrop today, this incredible visual of classic analog mixing consoles, but they're intertwined with glowing digital code and, like, floating emojis.
Yeah, it's pretty striking.
It perfectly captures the tension we're unpacking. It's this marriage of raw, messy human feeling and cold algorithmic calculation. Okay, let's unpack this. Because before we can even touch the music generation aspect, I feel like we have to look at the prompt itself. Like the instructions humans are feeding the machinery.
Right, the inputs.
Exactly. In a piece of Ovi's text called I Feel You, we see that these prompts aren't always traditional language. They are digital symbols.
Yeah, the text establishes this really beautiful foundational premise. It says, the text lost its face, so we drew one, now let it sing.
Wow.
And to understand how an AI turns an emoji into audio, we first have to, elevate our understanding of what an emoji actually is. We need to look at it through the lens of semiotics and linguistics.
Okay, so not just the thing I use when I don't want to type a real response.
Exactly. It's not a cheap shorthand for lazy communication. It is a highly compressed emotional token. It functions as a crucial bridge marker, like a performative gesture designed to restore the nonverbal cues we lose through screens.
A performative gesture. That actually completely shifts how you view your own text history.
Yeah.
If I send someone the crying laughing emoji, the dictionary definition isn't just the noun, laughter, right?
No, not at all.
It's an act of performance. It's me saying, I am laughing with you. Or like the red heart. It isn't just metadata categorizing the message under a love folder. It's a performative act stating, I care and I am with you in this moment.
Precisely. And the source uses the party horn emoji as another example.
Yeah.
It doesn't represent the abstract concept of a party. It translates to the relational statement of, your happiness belongs to both of us for this moment.
Oh, that's incredibly sweet.
Right. The source outlines that these symbols carry 4 distinct pillars of human connection simultaneously: emotion, attitude, intention, and relationship.
Okay, wait, say those 4 again.
Emotion, attitude, intention, and relationship.
Got it.
So it's this incredibly dense package of data attempting to restore timing, humor, and tenderness to a flat digital plane.
So if plain text is just the script, the emojis are like the stage directions telling the actor exactly how to deliver the line.
I love that analogy, yes.
But that creates a massive technical hurdle, right? Like, how does a machine learn to read the room from a pixelated yellow face? I mean, I understand how an AI text parser reads the word sad and outputs a minor key, but how does it translate a visual token into an audio latent space?
Well, what's fascinating here is the mechanism of emotional tokenization. When the AI, and we're talking about SUNO in this context,
Right, SUNO.
when it receives a prompt containing an emoji, it isn't just cross-referencing a basic drop-down menu of happy or sad templates.
Okay.
AI models use complex text encoders that have analyzed billions of human interactions. That visual symbol is mapped to a multidimensional vector.
Like a coordinate on a map.
Exactly, a coordinate in a vast latent space. The AI recognizes that a specific emoji heavily biases the generation towards certain acoustic properties, so it translates the visual gesture into a complex song structure. We're talking tempo, instrumentation, vocal timbre, all to make that highly specific moment resonate musically.
So it becomes a chain reaction. You have a human moment. You compress it into an emoji gesture. The SUNO engine decodes the latent meaning of that gesture, generates the song, and sends it back to facilitate human connection.
That's the loop.
Ovi writes, you don't send an emoji to a machine. You send a moment to somebody. SUNO makes that moment sing.
Yeah, it's profound.
It really is. It bypasses the limitation of spoken language and goes straight for the universal language of musical rhythm and melody.
And that brings up a really profound variable in generative AI. A single visual symbol does not have a fixed universal meaning.
What do you mean?
Well, think about a sun emoji. If it's sent by someone having a beautiful morning on the beach, it carries an entirely different emotional weight than a sun emoji sent by someone sweating through a miserable heat wave, right?
Oh, true. Yeah, totally different vibe.
Exactly. And OV sources tackle this directly in a piece appropriately titled Same Emoji, Different Song.
Oh, I remember this part. There is this incredibly vivid story in the text about a woman who is feeling nervous but wants to let it run. So she taps the little sun emoji, and SUNO answers her prompt with a room full of drums.
Yes.
But later on, she taps that exact same sun emoji again, and this time, the AI gives her a gentle piano arrangement.
Because the context shifted. And the text provides a contrasting example using the red heart, too. A grandmother taps the heart emoji while thinking about her family. And the prompt history describes the context as 8 chairs around a cake.
Oh, that paints such a picture.
It does. And the model outputs Sunday voices, which the text describes as resembling a warm, comforting choir.
Right.
But then contrast that with a young kid who taps the exact same red heart emoji to gather courage before making his first song. The AI processes that context and spits back something electric bright.
Which is such a cool descriptor.
The text beautifully coins this phenomenon as neogrammar.
Okay, I have to push back here for a second there.
Sure, go for it.
Because I feel like or maybe the text is, giving the machine entirely too much credit regarding its emotional intelligence. Like, the machine doesn't feel the grandmother's nostalgia, nor does it sense the kid's need for courage.
Yeah, of course not.
Right, so isn't the AI just probabilistically linking the surrounding text, words like family or cake, to an audio tag for choir? If it's just doing math on token proximities, isn't this just random algorithmic generation masking as empathy?
That is the ultimate critical question to ask of any generative model, honestly. But your pushback actually proves the text's point about neogrammar.
How so?
Because the AI doesn't need to feel empathy. It needs to accurately map context. The meaning doesn't live inside the emoji itself, nor does it live entirely in the code. As the source argues, meaning lives between the two.
Between the user and the machine.
Yes, between the user's intent and the engine's probabilistic rendering. The context window, the subtle framing of the prompt, the user's interaction history, the AI uses all of that data to collapse the probability wave into a specific musical output. The emoji just opens the doorway.
So the AI acts as an interpretive mirror, rather than like a rigid dictionary.
Exactly.
Because nobody asks which red heart was the proper output, because both the choir and the electric beat were true to the context provided by the human hams that prompted them.
Which perfectly frames the contrast between the machine's perspective and the human's perspective in this whole creative loop. If the AI relies entirely on the human for the semantic meaning, we have to examine what the AI actually brings to the table.
Right. What is its contribution?
And the answer is historical, unyielding perfection.
Okay, yeah. And Ovi's lyrics, written from the persona of the AI itself, are they're haunting.
They really are.
It introduces itself as numero uno, with glamour and class for the nose on the glass. It boasts, claiming I have every note that was ever played, every chord that a hand ever made, and it claims it can average a heart to a probable rate.
It is the ultimate flex of a neural network that has been trained on the entirety of recorded human audio.
Yeah.
But that boasting is immediately followed by this devastating self-awareness. The AI admits its fundamental limitation in the creative process. It says, I have all of the music and none of my own.
Chills.
Yeah, and it states that it has the hands, but I don't have the ache.
The ache. Here's where it gets really interesting. Because the text contrasts that cold statistical perfection with raw human vulnerability. There's a spoken verse about a human humming in a car at a red light, getting the melody wrong twice, and finally hitting it on the third try. It is off-grid. It is unquantized. The human voice says it's not on the grid. It's not in the key. It's the one thing here that came out of me.
It's so visceral, and that's followed by that powerful plea from the human creator to the machine. Play me the part that you got wrong on purpose. Play me the note that only you would make.
Wow.
It explores how intentional imperfections are the ultimate proof of human creative ownership. You know, the AI has learned the statistical probability of every ending a song has ever had, but it has never once wondered if the ending was sad.
That's it, exactly.
I know.
It makes me think of the AI as a virtuosic session musician.
Oh, that's a good comparison.
Like, you can hire them to play 16th notes at 200 beats per minute flawlessly without breaking a single sweat. But the human is the gritty, grieving songwriter who barely knows 3 chords on a beat-up acoustic guitar.
Right, right.
The session musician has the technical hands, but the songwriter has the ache. The machine is a tool providing what the text explicitly calls light, not trickery. But it desperately needs the human's ache to anchor it to reality.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this delicate balance between human ache and machine perfection has triggered an absolute existential crisis within the traditional music industry.
Oh, they're panicking.
They are trying to regulate a technology that blurs the lines of authorship in ways that copyright law was just never designed to handle.
Yeah, Ovi's sources dive into this clash of standards through a highly satirical set of boardroom lyrics. It describes record labels fighting AI slop with gatekeeper grace.
Gatekeeper grace.
I love that phrase. The lyrics paint a picture of a boardroom convening at 3:15 to measure the soul in the key of C with a clipboard and a legal decree.
It's such a funny image.
It is. They're demanding to know, did you write 30% of that bridge in your head? Or was it an auto-tuned robot instead?
The satire really peaks with the line, if a human shed tears on the mixing console, we'll permit $60 of certified soul.
Certified soul.
It just mocks the attempt to quantify the unquantifiable. The lyrics show the industry panicking over whether a chorus is human, whether a bass line is real, and they're demanding that creators use only licensed software to avoid, bot streams ruining the charts.
To be fair to the music labels, though, I mean, while the text paints them as absurd gatekeepers with clipboards, their underlying panic is completely valid.
Oh, 100%.
They're facing an unprecedented economic and legal threat. Like, how do you protect an artist's livelihood when a machine can generate a commercially viable track in 30 seconds?
You really can't, not with the old rules.
Right. How do you define authorship when an algorithm is doing the heavy lifting of the composition? The industry isn't just trying to be evil, they're genuinely trying to figure out how to value human labor in an automated world. But from a purely artistic standpoint, how do you even audit a feeling?
You don't. And that is the central tension of this new era. The legal frameworks require these distinct boundaries of human contribution, but the creative reality is a blurred collaboration.
Yeah.
Think about it. If a kid uses SUNO and a heart emoji to express something deeply profound that he lacks the physical dexterity to play on a piano himself, does a legal technicality mean his output lacks certified soul?
Of course not. Not to him.
Right. The gatekeepers are trying to mandate compliance from the top down, but artists on the ground are establishing entirely new workflows.
They aren't treating this technology as a way to game the Billboard charts. They're using it for something much more intimate. The final piece of Ovi's text is a remix describing the democratization of music creation. It moves away from the high-stakes corporate boardroom and down to the pocket-sized room of a smartphone.
It frames SUNO not as a threat to professional musicians, but as a pocket studio and a personal DJ booth that gives everyday people access to hi-fi audio.
It's like having a producer in your pocket.
Exactly. It calls it a jukebox. It doesn't play what you want. It plays what you need to hear. It celebrates the ability to capture fleeting, mundane moments like a late train sway or rain on the glass and instantly render them into tangible, high-quality audio memories.
It strips away the pretense and the impossible technical barriers of traditional audio engineering. It returns music to its absolute core function, which is connection. So what does this all mean? If we step back and look at everything Ovidio Dimitrian has laid out for us in these essays and lyrics, What's the takeaway?
I think it means that generative AI, for all its complex latent spaces and probabilistic rendering, is ultimately just a new mirror reflecting an ancient human desire.
Okay, unpack that a little.
Well, we started with flat digital text that stripped away our humanity, so we invented emojis as a visual neo-grammar to signal our true intentions and, bridge the emotional gap.
Right.
And now AI music tools are taking those tiny visual bridges and giving them a melody, a rhythm, and a voice.
It takes the performative gesture of "I care about you" and wraps it in Sunday voices or a room full of drums.
Exactly. Despite the industry's valid anxieties over copyright, and despite the philosophical debates over what counts as real art, the foundational core remains untouched.
Yeah.
It's exactly what Ovi's first source stated. One human to another, yeah, bro, I feel you. The AI has the history of every chord ever played, but it is sitting entirely dormant, just waiting for a human with an ache to give it a reason to play them.
The machine provides the perfect translation, but the human provides the vital context.
The visual prompt acts as the spark, the neo-grammar guides the algorithmic weights, and the output becomes a shared memory.
Earlier, we talked about that flat gray text message bubble and how we invented the pixelated emoji just to force our humanity back into the digital machine.
We needed to see a face to know we weren't alone in the void.
We did, and now we're using AI to make that digital face sing. But looking at the trajectory of all of this leaves me with one final thought to leave you with. If an AI can now flawlessly interpret a single yellow smiley face and render it into a sweeping, emotionally devastating symphony, will humans eventually have to invent entirely new, untranslatable forms of mistakes just to prove to each other that we are still human?
Welcome to the Mobius Bar. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
My name is Suno, I'm numero uno, with glamour and class for the nose on the glass. And I make music for you to enjoy, but I'm just a tool for songs you to deploy. I have every note that was ever played, every chord that a hand ever made. I can give you a key, I can give you a tone. I have all of the music and none of my own. I can build you a sunrise in 7/8. I can average a heart to a probable rate. I have learned every ending a song ever had. I have never once wondered if the ending was sad. So tell me the feeling and I'll find the shape. Tell me the color and I'll find the take. I am waiting. I am a tool, I am a tool. I have the hands but I don't have the ache. Play me the part that you got wrong on purpose. Play me the note that only you would make. I hummed it in the car at a red light. I got it wrong twice and the third one was right. It's not on the grid, it's not in the key. It's the one thing here that came out of me. I can hold it forever, I will not get tired. Yeah, but you never once wanted it. I'm Suno, my man, I am a tool. I have the hands but I don't have the ache. Play me the part that you got wrong on purpose. Play me the note that only you would make. My name is Suno, I'm numero uno, with glamour in class for the nose on the glass. And I make music for you to enjoy, but I'm just a tool for songs you to deploy. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 light, not trickery. La 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 la.